We're good.
All right, cool. All right, and we're on. So, welcome everyone to another exciting session of Tales of Tellos, the Sea Mage. I am your humble dungeon master, Order, and I'm here with these crazy hoodlums who incite chaos and all the fun in the world. So if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If this is a second time, third time, 11th time, or 16th time, welcome back because we're on session 16. So, which with as a fun note, if you're just joining in, there are 16 gods in the pantheon, so it's just a fun number for me. So, but yeah, if you are tuning in or are interested in watching any of our previous episodes, feel free to go on to our YouTube channel. All of our prior episodes from this campaign and our Thursday campaign are up there, ready to go, and for your viewing leisure for it. So feel free to check it out at Castles and Calamity on YouTube. We also have our other twin campaign, which is the Guild campaign, which is run by Chaos, also known as Daddy Lance Bucks here on the Zoom. And his campaign is taking place in a Guild campaign setting on a magical continent of Heptagonia, seven-sided continent with various, multiple guilds, all subsidiaries of a main guild that controls pretty much everything. And from there, we are training in the academy and hoping to become adventurers ourselves and influence the world and the monarchies that rule it. So feel free to tune in. We're getting close to level 2. So Lumi.
They will be level 2 by the end of the game on Thursday.
By the end of the game or the end of the next session? Which
by
are
the
you
end
promising
of
us?
the end of the game on Thursday's session. Sorry.
I'm like,
by the end of the game, you will be level 2, at least.
There we go. So all right, Lumi, what are you sporting tonight with us?
So I was gonna change to the bear, but every time I change it once I'm already in Zoom, my audio doesn't work, so I'm sorry everybody, I'm a bunny again.
All right, not a problem. Bunnies are good. So is it 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Either way, month of November, bunnies.
Yeah,
So
there you go. Thank
there
you.
we go.
We're gonna start
Bunny
going by months.
Hair today, bear tomorrow.
There you go. All right. Other than that, I think does anyone else have anything? I don't looking at my agenda list, don't have anything else to cover, but anyone else want to chime in other add-ons and whatnot?
I will not be here next week. It is sad.
That is very sad. Yes. So we hope you enjoy the wedding you're going to for it. And yeah, well, I'll be piloting Lance a little bit as we just to get him on.
Lance gave away all of his money. Weird.
We'll see what happens there, but just so that way it's a seamless transition as you go into the next campaign, next session for it.
Lance may not be a rogue, but he's not afraid to go back and steal it all back from you guys.
Can't steal what we spend.
We'll see what happens. So, but
I'm leaving.
Come back.
Lance just leaves. He's like, nah, I'm out.
There you go.
Erlon's got a chicken farm in Zarek.
With all the chickens with 3 legs.
He adopts all the 3-legged chickens from the chicken factory.
And on that note, if no one else has anything, let's get started with tonight's session, the Steam Age. All right, tune in whatever title card we're editing there. I'm just gonna stop saying that, but fingers crossed. Either way, last time on the Tales of Tellos, the Steam Age, our adventurers, this group that is trying to call themselves or not call themselves, but has been proclaimed or been guided that they are the Seven of the Ruby by a blind Lionkin Oracle, decided that they were going to make some moves in joining Skender's Guild. So that way they can expedite the process to meet with the Arif, gain some valuable information, hopefully gain a powerful ally in their quests of presumably finding family, finding friends, and saving the world. The group applied to Skender's Guild and was able to listen in the first day, the first of heat, for several sendings that were sent out for those whose applications had been accepted. M and Erlon, as well as Calliope, Lance, and Zanny, all received sendings to come in for an interview. And they all then started coordinating with Chance and Alice for just discussing things for it. And as a side order, not everyone applied to it, but a good majority did apply for it. From there, some time soup as we're doing a little bit this session and last session. It's a little bit of a time soup. We're covering the 3 days from the 1st of heat through the 3rd of heat. The group already went with Erlon and M to the Druidic Ring. Had some nice relaxing bonding moments between the two, and then went over and had a discussion or had their interviews with Skender's Guild. The two of them also time souping and showing kind of like what it is. We're kind of like bouncing back and forth between the dates a little bit for it. But Erlon was the first one to actually go in to the combat trial, and he fought against Sundus, the barbarian fighter that he had to fight with, and was able to prove himself doing some solid damage to the barbarian or with some good strong hits for it. She did block a lot, which is reflected into the rolls for it. But overall, he impressed her enough and the other veterans and the guild master to get ascending the next day on the 3rd of heat and get accepted into Skender's Guild, should he still wish to join in. Same thing with M. M went through his interview. He also went through the combat trial and used a lot of firepower, so to speak, in order to push Klein, one of the other veterans, to start using higher and higher magic for it. M also was able to get accepted into Skender's Guild on the 3rd of heat. And now we're going to be pulling it back to the 1st of heat for the other people who are doing their interviews, as well as potentially some role playing as people have dinners together, discussions together, or go to the celebration at Skender's Guild, where you may meet all your other new fellow compatriots that are joining in. We shall see, but that's where we pick up today for session 16. So let me really quickly pull something up. There we go. And I believe the next person that we are going with is going to be Calliope. So let me change the screens for a bit. Calliope, you had a discussion though with Lance before you arrived at Skender's Guild. Would you like to
Yes.
summarize some elements of it?
It was really just a chance to kind of get to know him and for him to get to know her. And the crux of the conversation came down to, I don't really think that I have a shot at this. Is this something that I should give a shit about? I know it means a lot to Erlon, but I mean, I'm probably going to fuck it up. Should I just intentionally fuck it up so I can tell myself that I did it on purpose and be able to live with my decision? And I believe Lance's response was, just do the right thing. Just be yourself. You don't have to be over the top. You don't have to be anything you're not. Just, do your best.
Perfect.
And that helped her.
Glad it did, and Lance is definitely helping support other people for it. But yeah,
He's Dr. Phil.
I
Yeah.
totally forgot we had that conversation.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad that I was able to make an impression on you.
It was a busy week, and okay.
Sure.
Busy week
Hey,
and
whatever
lots of
gets fixed.
RP, which we will see about how we're going to get that to everyone out there at home. It is pending. We are planning on finding a way to get you all the RP chats that are going on behind the scenes for it. So, and also helps Lance remember things as well. All right. Well, Calliope and Lance, you both have your well, no, Calliope, you're technically at the same time as M. I will ask Lance. Yours is 30 minutes afterwards. Would you be there 30 minutes early, or would you hang out outside before your appointment at 2:00?
Oh no, he's going in with Calliope to make sure she actually goes in.
Okay, great. And with that said, Calliope, you get pulled in, so to speak. You get ushered in to have your interview. Is there anything you are doing before you head off to the interview?
Checking herself in a mirror, or she has a little compact if need to, make sure that she looks presentable, make sure that the hair is just fine, the hat's adjusted properly, because it's all about impressions.
Yep. One of the Skender Guild's veterans does guide you over You notice she is human with her hair tied up in a bun a little bit. Looks Arumic for her ethnicity, white robes, black fingerless gloves. Definitely looks like they, I mean, with your just passive insight, probably can pack a punch because she does not have any other visible weapons on her. So you're getting the feeling she is a monk.
I'm respectful. I thank her for escorting me.
Yep. Like, all right, you'll be fine. Don't worry. Just be yourself and good luck.
Thank you.
She leads you over to the rooms. I'm gonna put her back in line. Your interviewer is going to be Etor. You go
This is not
upstairs
going to be good.
and
Okay.
you meet the Minotaur. This is not gonna be good. Not is that Calliope's mental stream of conscious that she's going with?
What she's going with is don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. You're gonna fuck this up, but at least don't cry.
All right. With that said, Etor does greet you. Good afternoon. Just feel free to take a seat.
Thank you. I do wait for him to come back and sit down. I'll wait for him to sit down before she sits down.
Awesome. He does kind of like sit down a bit for it and kind of like pulls up your application and reviews it for a moment and nods as he's re-reviewing it one more time for it. And he's like, "You said that you've had 2 years. Well, first off, thank you for coming in.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
You do seem to have some experience. I noticed when you said 2 years invited participant or he kind of like pulls out his glasses because he wasn't reading with his glasses, then puts it on. He's like, much better. All right. Looks like you've had quite a lot of experience out there. Which say anything else you want to include other than what's on the resume?
Yeah, but I don't think I should. Well, I don't want to waste your time. And it's important that, and I can't recall, I think I put this on the application, but I was a guest of what you can call I guess, the Department of Corrections for a little while. And I understand if that disqualifies me. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I did the second thing that they said I did, but I didn't do the first thing.
It kind of like reviews. I did see that you did mention it here. 14
Okay.
months. Did not mention what it was you were serving for.
Oh, I was originally brought in for murder.
Hmm.
But I didn't do it. It was my mom. I took the rap. I helped her. I disposed of the body because that's what that's what a little girl does for her mama.
Understandable. And I will
I'm,
mention that criminal records does not disqualify an individual from joining Skinner's Guild.
I appreciate that. I'm sure that I'll be able to give you other valid reasons for me not joining.
What makes you say that?
I've learned that when I want something really, really bad, and I think for the right reasons, I tend to make mistakes, and it just doesn't give a good look. So at the end of the day, if I start crying, it's not on you. If you feel the need to yell at me, feel free. Won't be the first and probably won't be the last. But I want this. I want this real bad.
That kind of leads into some of the other questions I was going to ask. Well,
I'm sorry.
no, don't apologize. Let's go from the end questions I normally ask. Why do you want to join Skinner's Guild?
from a little girl, I was born, and I was born to parents that didn't really take an interest in me, and I get it. I understand. They were busy. They had their own companies that they was running, and so they kind of handed me off to Nanny Bob. And Nanny Bob, he's a good man. He's a good man, but he wasn't family. And being raised in isolation, even in the lap of luxury, even in an area where you have the nicest thing, it gets awful lonely. So you make some choices, you make some mistakes, and you fall in with a group of women and you earn a living. And then it dawns on you that they don't follow you because they particularly like you. They don't follow you because they particularly believe in you as their leader. They follow you because you're making them money. And when that money dries up, well, so do the relationships, if you know what I mean. And then finally, you cut up one little dead body and you feed it to pigs. And you don't catch that one finger with that one ring under the pig trough. But the constables do, and you end up going to prison. And I'm going to tell you, sir, prison, it doesn't sound, it's not half the fun it sounds. You think showering with a bunch of women would be great, but it ain't. All they do is try to keep you isolated and alone. It worked because I've been that way my whole life, and I just don't want to be that way anymore. I don't like it. I love people, good ones, bad ones, all people. And if I'm lucky enough and I can either fool you or convince you that I belong here, then maybe some of y'all like me. Maybe some of y'all be family. It's worth a shot.
Understandable. Skinder's Guild is definitely a bit of a brotherhood. Are you familiar with our past and how we came to be?
I'm going to be honest with you, sir. It's been kind of a whirlwind, and I'm not as familiar as I should be. And if that disqualifies me, I understand.
It does not. The Skinder's Guild was formed by after the Janissary Revolt. You can understand if you're familiar with history that the Janissaries revolted against the Sultana.
The Sultana, yes, yes, sir.
So you can imagine a lot of them were branded as traitors, as villains, as criminals. And some of them, of course, were not part of that revolt, but that stigma carried on. Skender's Guild was a remnant of it. Janissaries that still wished to do good in the community, banding with others of the community, adventurers, to adventure, to put their skills to work and to utilize their strengths.
That makes
Again,
sense.
you having a criminal background does not disqualify. I mean, our founders, half of them have had criminal records for it, with the understanding that you are not going to engage in said criminal activity further, or if you are, you will indemnify Skender's Guild. That is what we're going to ask if you were to sign on, that you are not using our name in said crimes or face immediate expulsion.
I ain't never rolled over on nobody, nowhere. I did time for my mother. She ruined what little name I had, and I still ain't rolling over on her. I already like you a hell of a lot more than I like her.
Thank you for that. Well, tell me, what do you consider your greatest weaknesses?
I'm a little emotional. I'm a little clingy. You can ask any of them out there. I think I've cried in front of all of them like 4 or 5 times today. Today. And I'm still trying to figure out who I am, what I am.
What do you
But
think
that's
you
that's my honest answer.
are? Honesty is appreciated. What? Who do you think you are at this moment?
I think I'm a really bad person who doesn't want to be a bad person no more and doesn't know necessarily how to do good things. So I'm just kind of making it up as I go along, pulling it out of my behind. But I want to be a good person. And not just for Hearth, and not just for Erlon and Alice and Zanny and Chance and Rance and M, but because because I'm a good person. I don't want to live a lie.
Good. What do you think are your greatest strengths then?
Loyalty. Loyalty to people. I'd say loyalty to family, but I don't know. I mean, I'm loyal to Nanny Bob, and I'm a pretty good shot. And I don't think I'm that stupid.
Speaking of loyalty, this is an important question we ask everyone. If you had to pick between the life of your comrades or the success of the mission, which would you pick?
So Calliope just gets kind of a wistful smile, and she says, "Oh, yeah, okay. So here's where I'm gonna mess this up because I'm gonna answer honestly. Missions don't matter if it ain't people. We're doing missions for people. So, and let me back this up, sir. I follow orders. I understand the importance of following orders. And I understand the importance of completing the mission. Very, very important. But what does it serve to complete a mission if we forget the people? If we forget the people on the mission? So the only way I can answer this, again, the honest way that I can answer this is I'm going to do what I have to do and I'm going to do what I'm told. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to do everything in my power to keep my family, my people together. That doesn't mean I'm not going to weep if they die. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to carry each and every one of their bodies out. So to answer your question, which I'm tap dancing around like my ass is on fire, people mean the most to me. But when coupled with the greater good, is my life worth more than anybody else's, let alone 100 anybody else's or 1,000 anybody else's? Is Erlon's? Is yours? I can't say that it is. So to answer your question, which I ain't yet, um, I don't know what I'd do. I haven't faced that issue, and it scares me. I promise you that I won't be the cause for a mission to fail. But I can't promise that's not going to take a little bit of my soul if we end up losing people. Again, I don't know if that answers your question.
In a way, it did. I can see your reasoning, your rationale, your values for it.
If you want me to go now, I will. No harm.
If you want to go, you can.
I don't want to, but I don't want to waste your time.
Then respectfully stop ask. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. But if you want to stay, you can stay until I tell you otherwise.
I want to stay.
Then good. I would add probably to your weakness is confidence.
Oh, and confidence.
Hmm.
That's right. Thank you.
All right. Well, I have a good idea of who you are, at least from the questions.
I'm so sorry.
Is there anything else you wish to tell me at this moment before we go into other parts of the interview?
When I ain't under a spotlight, when I don't have your eyes on me, Alice's, Annie's, all of their eyes on me, I do pretty good. I think that if you were to give me a chance, I don't think I'd disappoint you. That's all.
All right. Well, I think there is potential with you. There's potential. The one thing, though, to make sure we do this with everyone is we do need to make sure that, as it was in the application, he kind of taps the paper a little bit with like just a few fingers because his whole hand is huge. He is still
Yeah.
a large entity, a large being for it. We do need to probe your mind for any nefarious intent in joining. Would you
Probe
agree?
away.
Right? And I will ask the
Can't say it's going to
question.
be that interesting, but sure.
Well, it's standard. We need to make sure of it. Are you here to infiltrate Skender's guild for any nefarious purpose? And he is casting with the ring that he's wearing, detect thoughts. Do you fail the wisdom save? Willingly?
Purpose to allow him access? Absolutely.
Yep. Okay. And then you answer truthfully, correct?
Quite truthfully.
And your answer is
I am not here with any nefarious thoughts. I want to be a member. I don't want to harm anything.
great. And he sees through like your psyche and he's able to see your reasonings, your justification with things, and nod with approval. All right. I think let's talk a little bit about expectations. If you were to be joining us, we do have a combat trial tomorrow. If you are selected, you would then go there, show us your skills for it. I did read here that you are a trained rogue and fighter as well. Correct?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Well, you do
I
have
would
to
say I'm more of a gunslinger than a fighter.
gunslinger, of course. The and he kind of goes on explaining a little bit about the process. If it was that, then you pass the combat trial, then you go into the final call on the third to see if you would be accepted or not.
Sure.
The he also does mention kind of like some of the other logistics, such as like quests and how the guild operates. He goes into kind of like the non-compete. So that's what the 1 year is for, is just making sure you're not double dipping on other quests. You are allowed to work with other guilds, but you are representing this guild instead of that guild, that type of like non-compete with a 1 year marker for it, as opposed to that you can't do anything. And again, he also does discuss logistics of this is for you to you could still do independent quests, you can also do no quests at all. This is just about you again, your representation. If you are an adventurer on quests, you are representing Skender's Guild for it.
Absolutely.
Also paying such, and we'll get to that in probably Lance's interview for it. All right. With that said, other questions are asked, other things are discussed. Eventually, though, the interview does come to an end. He does stand up and is like, all right, thank you for your time today. We'll see if we get a sending tomorrow or not. But it was nevertheless, it was a pleasure to speak with you.
And I didn't cry. Yay me. She bows and respectfully, if she's given leave to leave, she leaves.
Yep.
And as soon as the door closes, she kind of lets out a squeal of delight, saying, "I didn't fuck that up."
Yeah. And about the same time, because your interview is at the same time as M, you and M are leaving at the same time. So do either one of you have like any comments as you are leaving Skender's Guild together?
How tall is M?
That is a good question. Em, how tall are you?
That is a good question. Let me see if I wrote it down on my thingy here. I did. 7'3".
With her dex of 20, she basically leaps into Emberin's arms and throws her arms around his neck, just hugging him.
All right, Em, make a strength saving throw for me, please. The DC is 6.
Let's see if oh, I don't know what's happening. Oh, there we go. Hey, that's a good number.
22. Yeah, you easily are able to not get knocked over and carry her. You have the strength to do so and walk out with her in your arms, or just drop her right there.
Oh, he's not gonna drop her.
And plus, with your act, I would say actually you would have advantage on it. So just roll one more time just to see if you get a nat 20, just because of your large build, or not large, your ability to carry
Powerful build.
Powerful build. Thank you. Because yeah, you can carry people like if you
Nope,
were
not a crit.
a hill giant. So it's fine. 22 is good. So, but yeah,
She's just telling him all about the interview and how she didn't fuck it up, and she didn't cry once, not even one tear.
while still in the guild.
Yeah, I mean, well, she doesn't have her game face on anymore.
That's fine. Just as
Well-
you're passing the veterans, they were watching you with some smirks.
Well, that's great. And now he'll fill her in on his interview too. I think mine went pretty well.
You nailed it. She kisses your cheek and she's just, I'm so proud of you.
Oh,
You're gonna
well,
get
right
in.
back at you.
Oh, I'm not gonna get in, but I didn't fuck it up.
Hey, that might mean you got in.
If you can, please roll a persuasion check, just to see how you came off for things.
Oh, I'm gonna spend my inspiration.
Okay, feel free.
Oh, perfect. That's
10.
great.
That's fine. 10 is kind of like the DC for it, which kind of tracks because you were multiple times saying like I can just go.
Yeah.
It tracks for it. The next day, Calliope, you're a late sleeper, correct? You would be
No. As a matter of fact, she made a point of getting up. She's now getting up early. She left a wake up call. She's getting up at sunrise and she's staring. She's just staring out the window. They're not going to call. You're ridiculous. They're not going to call. You should be going back to bed. You should take some drinks. She's just talking to herself, just saying, don't get your expectations up. But she's waiting and she's looking out the window.
If you're doing it at dawn is like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
That's when she's doing it.
It is roll just a con save for me. This is a stark difference than what you're used to.
Absolutely.
19, you're fine. About 4 hours later, because you that's when they make their calls, is around 8:30.
And I mean, at this point, her head's, you're not going to get in. You're not. She's down, not looking out the window anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, because 4 hours of just either pacing or thinking these thoughts, you do receive a sending. Thank you for your interview, Calliope Ash. We would like to see about a combat trial with you. Please come in at 9:30 or 11:30 for the combat.
Are you fucking kidding me?
There is no response.
Well, no. You can't take it back. So, all right, I'll be there.
You can roll an insight check if you want.
They're gone. They're like, yeah, just get here.
Yeah, with 11, you're like, they're probably doing a lot of these.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to respond with another sending to you.
Yeah. So we're still in the Margarine Hotel, right?
Yeah, you're still at the Marjorie Hotel. Yep.
She is dressed. She's just running down the halls, knocking on doors, saying, I got a combat test. I mean, just waking people up. excited.
Yeah. You would, at this time you would also hear M or Erlon also relay that they also got called in. Um, and they're judging from the times, you're about 15 minutes apart from each other.
Can she see Erlon?
Yeah, Erlon, if you're the Marjorie Hotel, you could interact with him.
She
I think
tackles him and just hugs him.
okay. Big Red, please roll a strength saving throw. 14. Yeah, you're able to you get that impact, but you're able to withstand it or even throw her off if you want, but you're good with that tackle hug.
She's just telling you, I got the call. I got the call. I didn't fuck it up.
Callie, boundaries, right?
I'm
You had that
sorry.
good talk. No, yep.
I'm sorry. I'm just so excited. Somebody might want me.
That's so awesome, man.
Got
I'm not
into.
gonna lie, I didn't think you'd bake it. Yep.
Well, that's vaguely insulting, but I mean, it's okay.
No. I did. You know what, Callie? The more, the better. I'm happy for you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
You're
She
welcome.
stands up. She gets off you, stands up, and she extends a hand like a proper gentleman.
I will shake it.
Okay.
And I will give her good luck for her combat.
Oh, I'm gonna fuck that up. Don't you worry about that. Ambrin.
Fast forwarding to the next to the actual morning event for it. You are at promptly there, I'm assuming. You go down, you are escorted down to the training grounds for it. And you are given the choice to fight a veteran or a summoned entity that will be closer to your level. Which do you pick?
You got any orphans or senior citizens? No, I'm just funning you. You know what? Surprise me. I don't know what I'm going to be facing on any adventures that I go on, so you pick. I don't care.
Okay. Roll a d4.
And oh shit, I already spent my inspiration.
All right. This should be fun. Okay, so.
Oh, that's great. That's what you want to hear.
It's not a bad thing. So, all right. The priestess, the cleric, goes over and prays and calls upon a summoned entity that she had talked to ahead of time. And what you see for a moment, it's just the chats, right? You're standing there. Do you have anything you want to do in prep as they're about to start with the summon?
She pulls out her weapon, makes sure it's fully loaded, and if they don't tell her she needs to holster the weapon, she'll keep it in her hand. She'll arm herself.
You can be everything they do. Say you have this moment. Prepare anything you want. Cast any buffs you want. Once this creature is summoned, they know what to do.
She takes her hat off, puts it back on. If one of the cute girls that's kind of watching, she just gives them a wink, and she waits.
I mean, there's 3 quote unquote cute girls. Which one are you doing? There's Sophia, who is the monk. There's Nora, the cleric, and then there is Sundus, the barbarian.
Oh, Sundus, no, she's a little too manly. We'll go with Nora.
All right. Which ironically enough, she as you wink her, she kind of like smiles, finishes her prayer, and you see that there is a flash of light as energy swirls around the arena, collides for a moment, and a portal opens up, and there is a radiance of energy as a being steps forth, ready to battle.
This is great.
As a celestial angel steps forward, a battle force angel, one of the ones that fights demons and devils across the realms, steps forward as shock troopers, infantry. And let's get started with initiative.
Whose fucking idea was this?
All right, select your token and then roll initiative.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did roll. Shit, and that was a
No worries.
crit.
Gotta give it to her.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Don't worry. That
I apologize.
no worries. And you do have advantage now with that 25, that natural 20. You do have advantage on your first round.
Okay.
Let me go with her. And she rolled a 5. So, Joy. Well, there was no way she was going to beat a natural 20 for it. So, all right. Calliope, you're up. You're facing an angel. What do you do?
I'm sorry, darling, but I gotta do this. She goes ahead and let's see. She's gonna spend a grit point, and she's going to go ahead and hit him with a violent shot if she can.
All right, go ahead. Roll for the violent shot.
Here we go. Wish me luck, guys. Oh,
Natural 20. All right. That is 2 natural 20s in a row. You do get. Oh wait, actually, she also rolled a nat 20 for her battle force, so she'll also have advantage, but that doesn't matter. But yeah, you got 2 natural 20s in a row. You do get 8 feet once you go to sleep.
Okay.
So congrats right there. 2
Thank
double
you.
nat 20s, and they're both dex space, so we'll see what happens there.
I'm interested. Okay,
All right.
so now
So roll your damage, or well, yeah. She has to make a save. Is it strength or dex?
actually for every grit point for violent shot, for every grit point I spent 1. If the attack hits, I can roll 1 additional weapon damage die.
Okay.
There's no save.
Forgive me. I thought that. Okay, great. So go ahead, roll extra damage die, and these are all max crit because it's a crit. So go ahead, roll the normal damage, and then we're gonna add the crit damage.
Okay, so here's the normal damage coming in.
Yep. Let's see it. So 16, and then roll one more for your for one more damage die for your revolver, which is 2d6.
Oh, I'm sorry. I rolled a d8. I apologize.
Oh, no worries.
It's 2d8 actually
2d8.
for the revolver
Okay.
of warning.
Roll one more time then.
Okay.
You got 8, and that's already the max on that die, and 12. Or 4, so 12. So 12 plus 16. So that's 28 plus 16, 38, 40, 46, plus the revolver damage, 46 plus 2d8, so that's another 16. That's 58. That's 66, and then the sneak is an extra 6, so 72 points of damage.
That is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Gaston.
Calliope, you aim, and in the shining radiance of this, you fire, and you take her down you take her down. You one-shot the Battle Force Angel.
I
Holy
run
shit.
to her. I run to her and say, no, 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 no.
Nope, you
Fucking
fire,
stupid.
and it instantly punches through, and the magic of the bullet goes right past her, and she just disintegrates into a shower of lights, and you just see it goes zipping back into the portal. Not dead, just returning
she's
back
all right,
to her
right?
realm. Well done. And there is a round of applause as you dealt that 72 points of damage, one-shotting a
sorry.
Battle Force Angel.
I'm so sorry.
What for? Ollie kind of like goes over and claps you in the shoulder, like, what? That was amazing.
I did. You guys are fucking funning me, ain't you?
What do you mean? You one-shot a Celestial.
That doesn't sound like something I'd do.
And Ollie's kind of like confused, and Etor's like, you clearly passed, Calliope.
Did I?
You killed an angel with one shot. Well,
That
not
doesn't.
killed. You sent it back to its realm. He's not dead.
Can't do that. Can't do that. I did okay.
And there's definitely a lot of approval in this room at the moment.
Can she get up close to what is his name? Etor?
Yeah, the Minotaur. Yeah, you can walk
Mhm.
towards him
She does, and she hugs him.
because I'm looking at like how you would be like, good job.
Thank you.
Like I said, and he kind of like whispers in your ear, have more confidence in yourself.
I
Okay.
promise.
He kind of like
She
tilts
she
you
goes-
very easily around with
Yeah.
his strength and just kind of like helps you move forward. And you can walk out with your head held high.
She does. She does. She tips her hat to. Well, she basically tips her hat to everybody. When she gets to the cleric, she actually removes her hat and tips it properly.
Yeah. And Nora is not offended. She's just like impressed. Her eyes did widen when you one shot the Celestial, but she nods. She's like, that was amazing. Good job.
Thank you. She just walks away saying, Hearth, just remember Hearth. And she
Yeah.
just gets the fuck out. She's not going to try and fuck this up.
You get out. The next day, on the 3rd of Heat, you receive ascending a 30 sharp, which I will ask, do you still get up early for
Absolutely.
it? Okay.
Yes. This is her new normal now.
Okay. Roll one last con save. It's going to be a lower DC because presumably you went to bed now later. It's the DC is only I'd say 8. Yeah, 17. You're fine. And at 8:30, you do receive that sending. Calliope Ash, we are excited to offer you a position in Skender's Guild. If you still are interested, please come in today, noonish, for signing on to the guild.
Doesn't respond. I mean, they're not waiting a response, are they?
They can hear a response.
Okay.
It is ascending, so you can respond.
She does say, I'll be there. And then, because she doesn't want to get made fun of by everybody else, she throws herself on her bed and she cries, but tears of happiness this time. But she does it alone.
Awesome. And Calliope, I'm assuming, do you go in to do the signing?
Yes, she does.
And you are now a member of Skender's Guild. So, one-shotted my Battle Force Angel.
Fucking A. That, all right. Well, it was meant to be.
Yeah. Good job. Congrats.
Thank you.
With that being said, we go on to, as we move the time soup back, Lance, you ready?
Always.
Always. Awesome. Let me reset things a little bit. Grab this token. There you go. And let me switch back. I will say with the new setup, my computer is much faster. All right. Lance, would you be standing about as you're now waiting for your interview, or are you taking a seat? How would you be doing things as you are waiting for your turn, knowing M and Calliope are having their interviews?
Lance would have sat down.
Cool. All right.
Lance would have sat down and actually like pulled out and poured himself like a drink.
Okay.
Out of Alice's stash from his bag.
Perfect. He's skimming on you, Alice. He's skimming your booze.
Then he pours a little bit of water in there and a little bit of Orca Cola so it fills it back up.
He's diluting your booze. That's even worse.
She's gonna know. One taste and she's gonna know.
That's magic of prestidigitation. You can make it taste like whatever you want it to.
During your interview, you do notice that there is a hooded individual, dark skin, kind of like gold filigree, tattoos a bit on her face. She walks in and goes, and she kind of glances at you for a moment and then continues and sits 2 tables down away from you.
While we're sitting there waiting, Lance will kind of go, "Hey, didn't I see you the other night?"
She kind of glances at you. Maybe. Why you're... Yes, I think so, actually.
I was walking back from the bookstore late at night, and I saw you watching me and those creepy guys that were acting like morons.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I wasn't watching you.
No, it's just either way. Good luck in your interview.
Same to you. He kind of like tries to focus in on it. What, Lance? Tell me, what's your passive perception, investigation, and insight?
They are all. That's a good question. I know my investigation is decent. 15, 18, 12.
15, 18, 12.
In the order on, yeah.
Yeah. You are able to tell a little bit that something is not right with the filigree. Almost like there's illusion magic. You can tell from it. Other than that, you're not sure. From the perception, what was the perception again?
15.
15. You definitely can tell she's walking. When she's walking, it's slow a little bit, heavy in a sense. And from like the way her clothes, they in normal clothes they're kind of like light enough. You put them, they kind of can flop a little bit. Here, they're just like they appear to be very, very heavy clothing at this moment. So you're able to tell the clothes probably weigh a lot in and of themselves.
Yeah, Lance thinks she's probably a monk, or is she carrying a weapon?
No.
Yeah, Lance would assume she's a monk then.
Yep. Eventually, you do see M and Calliope come out. M is carrying Calliope in his arms, probably like this. Do you say anything after, or as they're coming passing by?
Lance probably makes eye contact with them and gives him a nod, and I'm assuming Calliope is making a lot of noise and not paying attention to what's going on around her.
Yep. Eventually, they and I will ask, does Calliope and M, are you planning on staying there until Lance is done, or are you leaving the guild?
She's going where M goes. M's carrying her.
Yeah. So M, would you leave the guild to give kind of like privacy, or would you stay there to wait for Lance?
No, I don't. I'm my appointment's done here, and I know that we've got some like scattered throughout the day. I don't need to be here for everyone's appointment.
Okay. So you walk over, kind of like put Calliope on one shoulder, open the door, and leave with it.
Smack her head on the door on the way out. Because she's
And
not
that's the
Zanny
last
size.
20 that she rolled.
Awesome.
She's a little bit taller than Zanny.
All right. I will say, yeah, and Nora will come back and get Mara, and let me just roll a d4. Darius will go over to Lance, and you notice another human Lance come over to you. He's wearing a little bit like breastplate armor, but lighter clothing for things. He has several pistols and rifles equipped for it. You can definitely, with like your passive insight, tell that this is probably a gunslinger.
Yeah.
All right, you're Lance, right?
That I am.
All right, come along. Let's get you to your interview. You'll be with Etor for now.
All right.
And he leads you in. You hear Nora mention, and are you particularly trying to hear her name or not so much for the other individual?
Yeah, he would be.
Okay. You're passive. Well, roll a perception check because you're also talking to Darius while also trying to hear something else. So it would be an active thing. 11, you would get it. Amara is what she's called. What she calls herself.
Gotcha.
So let me put Amara is having the interview with the guild master, and you are with Etor. So let me pull up one quick thing. Let's see. All right. Lance, you are greeted by Etor, who stands and he greets you. Lance Blacksons, welcome. Feel free to take a seat.
I don't think he knows that name.
Oh, sorry, Lance Black. My apologies.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's not what I put on the application.
Yeah, you're right. I take it back. Lance Black. All right. Welcome. Please take a seat.
And he'll sit down.
Etor sits down, and from your experience, especially because you've seen Johar in a very cramped position for it, and even though Johar is much smaller than this Minotaur, it looks like the furniture has been built to size, custom made for it, as he sits in the office and begins the interview with you.
Lance just thinks of himself perks of working for the money and not the private sector, not the public sector.
Yep. It's true. Welcome. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. I read your application, but curious to know more about each individual on a slightly personal level.
Well, before we get to that, I had a question. So one of the people in our little group applied and didn't get in. I want to know why. Her name was Alice Mizer.
I think I remember her application. I don't have it in front of me for now. She was the bard, also part of you mentioned with the resume and the applications you sent in, correct?
Yes.
I remember now. So I'm sorry, repeat your question.
Why didn't she get an interview like the rest of us did? She was just as helpful in the rest of us in accomplishing those tasks.
Did you read her interview? Her application, I mean.
I did, and she was being truthful. But she also doesn't know herself as what she is quickly becoming and the importance behind that.
The reason why he was rejected, and so you understand, it was a panel interviewing or looking and reading each of these applications, was that there was concerns that she would be more focused on herself when it comes to adventuring. Her resume, as I remember with the others, did not invoke a lot of confidence in synergy with others or balancing interests with others. It was very much focused on her and her nobility and her status. Because of that, it was felt that she would be rubbing many people the wrong way or not cooperating with others.
I mean,
that was the impact. Go ahead.
No, you're right. I mean, her resume was not the greatest written, but her
and the resume or the information you provided from the papers, or that the papers were discussing the train heist, which was taken into consideration. It was a 2 votes against her, 1 vote for her. It was not a unanimous rejection for it. But the reason why that was taken into account is, yes, she was able to help and protect people, which is good. We want that. But we were not certain if this was happenstance or her putting herself in the line of danger.
I mean, on the train, she was the first one shot,
That
other
wasn't
than one of the guards. But I mean, like they came in, shot the guard, he went down. She was the next one to stand in front of everybody else, and she was the one who got shot, taking the bullet, protecting the rest of us.
You seem to have a lot of confidence in her. Do you really believe that she would work well with others and focus on the group rather than her own glory?
I don't think those two things have to be mutually exclusive.
They don't, but it did come off that that was her priority.
Yes, but she is the type that will, in order to build herself up, will take everybody around her with her to the top. Whether that be us, a random person she met on the train, a servant who she made friends with, or this entire guild.
And you would stake your honor on that claim.
I would give her my seat in this interview instead.
Roll a persuasion check, Lance. Okay.
Lance isn't very charismatic.
Hey, I didn't say anything. You don't have to hit a 20 to be successful.
Lies.
No.
I'm pulling the Aaron strategy. If it's not a 20, we
It's
re-roll.
not 20. I failed everything. No. You're not sure, but you do not. He does nod. There have been a couple of no-shows, but let me review her application one more time. I'm not guaranteeing that she will receive a sending or not, but let's actually get to know each other here, and then I'll be a judge through you of her.
Fair enough.
So, why do you and her through you want to join the guild?
Because this is the most direct path to the success of a larger mission, saving the world.
Understood. Roll an insight check. You could definitely tell he's heard that answer before in different contexts. Some people thinking that they're very, like, they have the power to change the world, like with honest to good, versus others that are, oh yeah, I want to save the world and such. That answer he's gotten more, but he is inciting you as well throughout this interview, which I'll be rolling afterwards. But
Lance is looking at him just deadpan. He does not, there's no emotion on his face when he says that. He doesn't seem like he's the over exuberant. He doesn't seem like he's trying too hard. He just says it as if it was the sky is blue or the grass is green, or the sands are whatever color sands are.
and what do you believe are your greatest strengths?
My greatest strength is being who people need me to be when they need me to be that.
In what sense?
Have you interviewed any of the other people in my group?
Yes, Calliope. I just had the pleasure, Calliope Ash, and I believe I also interviewed Emberin. No, Erlon.
So that's a good cross section of the group right there. With Erlon, I be his brother. I be his friend. He doesn't always necessarily like me, but it's more about with him building that mutual admiration and respect. With Calliope, I am more direct and more. I tell her what she needs to be, and sometimes it's a little harsher than I would talk to Erlon, for example. I can't tell Erlon to sack up and stop crying because A, he's not crying most of the time, but it's different. You have to approach people differently. It's not a I'm not a bard. It's not a charisma thing. It's reading the people and understanding what words they need spoken to them than the flowery or prettiness or the charming effect. Most of the time it's not that. It's just making them see the truth.
What truth is that?
Most of them need to pull their heads out of their asses so we can get shit done.
All right. What do you think are your greatest weaknesses, Lance Black?
That even when I'm wrong, I'm convinced myself that I am right.
Mhm.
Because I normally am. Even if it's not apparent right away.
You have a lot of faith in these friends of yours. If you had to pick between their lives or the lives of your comrades and the success of the mission, which would you pick?
It depends on the mission. If it was a simple bounty collection, I'd save them. If it was I had to sacrifice one or more of them to stop a dragon from destroying an entire city, they'll understand. We can bring them back with magic. If not, they died doing something good. But analyzing what the greater good is in any situation would determine my response to that question.
Understood.
But I would, if need be, if it was to complete a greater good, I would absolutely sacrifice any one of them.
Understood. Well, let's talk a little bit more before we go into any other logistics. We do need to scan or screen to make sure that there are no infiltrators coming into Skender's Guild. I did notice that you did say that you are willing to have for us to conduct a detect thoughts on you.
Yes.
If you're still willing, I can ask the question and probe your mind for it.
That's fine.
He twists his ring. He asks the question. The same question he asks everyone: are you here to infiltrate Skender's Guild for any nefarious purpose? And you willingly failed the save.
Yes.
And are you truthful in your response?
Yes.
And what is your response?
Actually, no. Lance would lie.
Yeah, he's gonna see through it.
I know, but he's gonna look at him and go, "Yes, I'm totally here to cause mayhem and havoc."
Yep. And passes right through your answer and just thinking about how your response is as your psyche is doing, and he does catch that cockiness with Lance. All right. Thank you for your candor.
I mean, everybody tells you yes. Or everybody tells you no, they're not here to do anything fun. I figured you'd want a little change of pace.
It is enjoyable. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit more about some of the logistics of things. And he does go over some of the logistics for it, like the combat trial, the discussion. I'm sure Lance brings up the pay.
Yes, how does that work?
We receive commissions from the different either private individuals or the government for it. We screen them. The quests that we decline, we do put notice to the others members that you are not able to take them. There is certain quests that you can compete with, some quests you can't compete if one member or one team is being deployed. The reward is given from the guild, the money deposited into the guild's bank account, and the reward is split into shares. However many members went into the guild, performed the quest, they receive a share, and the guild receives 2 shares for it. Other than that,
So if it was just to clarify, if it was like the reward was 3,000 gold, we would get 1,000, the guild gets 2,000, or if there was 4 members sent and the guild, they would each get 500 and the guild gets 1,000.
the latter. It's
Okay.
however many members do the quest, the guild just takes 2 stances for it.
Gotcha. Okay. And is that paid out directly to the individual, or like if our group was united, could that just be paid as one lump sum for all the shares of our group?
Depends on the groupings for it. We tend to be there when people are accepting the funds. So in the sense that each of your friends, if they were all joining, would all receive that either check or the cash proceeds.
Understood.
Just to avoid any issues of people saying that they're a silver short. Which I will mention, stealing from your other comrades, frowned upon, disciplinary actions, but it does happen. So just to avoid it, we give out the payout for this way.
Is it stealing if they never know it existed?
Yes.
Are you sure about that? Because that's a very fine line.
I'm pretty sure about that.
Okay. What is your guys' stance on necromancy? Is that good, bad? Do you care?
As long as you don't cause. Are you talking about the general use of necromancy, or necromancy upon your comrades?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, if your buddy dies, bringing him back to be a skeleton is probably not the best idea, because then it's going to be really hard to bring him back to life.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying, if I happen to have pointed his bag, have a couple bodies in there, is anybody going to care?
As long as you keep the necrotic energy away from others, so you don't cause diseases, sicknesses, or blights, we don't care.
Okay.
We will just mention, though, for individuals that you kill or persons of interest, do not turn them into undead. We need them in order to interrogate them.
Do you need the whole body, or do you just need the head?
Depends on the quest. If it's a dead or alive situation, we want them in alive, not just the head.
So if it's dead or alive, the guild would prefer that they come in alive.
Correct.
Did you tell Earl on that?
I'm pretty sure I discussed.
Because the last bounty I turned in from him, I had to put the head back together because he split it in half.
The dead or alive situation, if it's dead, depends on the quest. If it's a bounty for like a bandit, then we don't really care. If it's about catching a person of interest,
He'll pull out. So if it's like anarchy,
yes.
You may want him alive so you can ask him why he blew up a city.
Yes.
Gotcha.
You are an avid bounty hunter with those.
Oh yeah, he would have seen Lance like flip through the pages looking for the right one.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I plan on collecting all of these.
Fair enough.
Oh, that's another question. If I collect a bounty that wasn't assigned by the quest, do I have to share with you guys?
No, it depends. No.
What if I collected it, but it wasn't assigned to us, but another guild member was assigned and was doing that job?
Then depends on the exclusivity of it. Things that are like this bounty, no. It's anyone for it. So if you were to collect on it, that other team would not.
Understood. I was just wondering, like, he's looking at some of them. Like, I'm just wondering, like, if we found if we go out there and we killed this goblin bandit or whatever accidentally because we run into him when we're out doing something else, but he was on somebody else's had a quest to go get him. Do I have to share with them because they didn't do the job?
No, they would be shared, or you would receive it along with any other party members with you that are guild members.
So if the guild has taken the bounty, I have to give the guild a share, even if it wasn't assigned by the guild.
If it wasn't assigned by the guild,
If it wasn't assigned to us, but the guild had already taken it, we would still split with the guild share, is what you're saying.
if you used any guild resources.
Would that include other members in my group?
No. If they are not active, not doing any guild quests, no.
What if it was like something we ran into on the way to a guild quest?
Then yes, because you're getting means of transportation or other things on that other quest.
I see.
It's a fine line. And if there is a contest with one person agreeing or disagreeing, we try to do what is fair and right.
What happens if we have somebody trying to poach one of ours because it's an open reward source that's a guild member? What's the use of force limit on that?
Don't kill them. That's it. If they are trying to kill you, you can use whatever force is needed. Just understand an investigation will be done. If they are found that they tried to kill you, it's justified that you used lethal force.
Gotcha. Seems very restrictive.
We're just trying to run a very good brotherhood over here. In that regard, you wrap up with the interview. You continue on for it. For yourself, roll a persuasion check. Okay.
Perfect.
Especially that last part. So.
Yeah, can I kill the other guild members if they get in my way? Totally acceptable question to ask. Can I raise their... Just don't raise their bodies. Or if you just need the head, can I raise the rest of the body?
Okay. With that said, do you go, after the interview is done, do you go let Alice know what you did or vouch for her, or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Let me roll something.
Because if they don't send a sending to her, then he looks like a bigger jerk.
Yeah. All right, 1 sec. As I'm doing multiple rolls in the background. And last one. Okay. Alice, you're having your dinner. In the middle of the dinner. I believe the dinner was arranged at 8:30 or 7. What time was the dinner arranged by Zanny, actually? Let's start with that. Zanny, what time did you arrange the dinner?
6 o'clock. You said 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock? Okay.
I was trying to remember if I said 6 or 6:30, but yes, 6.
I can DM
Somewhere
cannot
around there.
remember. Well, that's fine. So 6 o'clock, we'll say 6. So about, I would say, 7 o'clock for things. Alice, you do get ascending. Alice Mazer, upon reconsideration and discussions with allies, we would like to offer a interview tomorrow at 1:30. If you are still interested.
Ella's just in the middle of dinner. Everybody, you just see her stop talking. She goes, "Oh, I knew you guys had some good sense. Thank you, darling. I'll see you promptly."
Lance, you can insight check that, or just or intelligence check it. Your choice. Yeah, that's just fine. You would understand. Suddenly she just perks up from like a typical sending, and you get the feeling that she's been invited to an interview.
Lance tries to give that like half face smile, but doesn't acknowledge it beyond that.
Okay. Great. Let's move on then. Lance, you do receive actually also, despite the rule the rules said for things, your combat trial is off. Your combat is offered to you. Do you accept it?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
That's Lance's reply. Like, okay, I'll be there.
Are you facing off against a veteran or a summon?
Lance will face a veteran.
All right.
Come on, Lance would totally take the easy route. Shut up.
Okay, let's go with, as you say, you're going to take a veteran. Just check one quick stat here.
I know who it should be.
Well, let's find out. So yeah, you're actually going to be facing Nora, the cleric.
That's who I thought it should be. It's the cleric versus the necromancer.
Yep.
There's nothing more. There's literally nothing more classic than that.
Yeah, that's why I was just double checking things. So, all right. Your things are ready. You're given your instant to prepare things. And any buffs you're doing at the moment, or no?
Yeah, Lance is going to cast mage armor on himself.
All right.
Doesn't do much, but it's better than nothing.
Yep. And with that being said, let's roll initiative. All right, you're going above first before Nora. So, Lance, it is your turn. What are you doing?
Lance is going to back up.
All right.
And actually, he's going to keep going back. 25, 30. And yeah, he's going to cast Wither and Bloom at 3rd level.
Okay. What kind of save is it?
It's not. It's an attack spell.
Gotcha.
So it's 4 when at 3rd level.
So 20. I always thought Wither and Bloom was a save for it.
Not Wither and Bloom, Arctic Blast. I said
Okay,
that wrong. Sorry.
That's why I was getting confused. I was like,
I
wait.
was they're right next to each other, and I was looking at one and trying to say the other one.
Fair. All right. So you Arctic Blast, 23 hits. The 10 does not. The 20 does. So a total of, and then the last one's a 9 does not hit. So 2 hit, 2 do not. And that is 11 plus, wait, where's the second damage for the?
5.
5.
It's underneath.
Okay.
There you
go. Gotcha. So 12.
Or the 12 works.
11 plus 5, 17 points of damage. Awesome.
Right. And then Lance is going to go have Sheldon get in her face.
Yep. All right. She kind of like, as Sheldon's just like annoying her, she just walks over and she will cast Guiding Bolt at you. And you did 3rd, so she will do 3rd just to push a little bit. So Guiding Bolt. 15.
Lance will shield.
All right. You shield and block the attack. She nods. All right. Your turn.
All right, now he's going to cast Wither and Bloom.
All right. And that is a DC
Con
15
save.
con save. Let's see. No, she fails, so she takes 11 necrotic.
All right, and oh, okay. Never mind. Sheldon doesn't have any hit points.
No, he only has like 1, I think. So.
No, yeah, I was gonna. I thought it gave temporary hit points, but it's there. It's recover hit dice. So.
Yep.
I was gonna say, give Sheldon all of the temporary hit points.
No problem. So you're good there.
And he's gonna move around the corner, actually.
All right. She will follow after you
5,
on her turn.
6.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And actually, yeah, she'll 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She'll get right there. And that'll be the end of her turn. Well, she'll hold something. But yeah, it is your turn.
How tall is this wall?
About 40 feet up.
All right. Can Lance run and jump and misty step at the height of his jump up the wall?
Sure.
So he's on top of the wall?
Yeah, jumping up and then 30 feet up, you can grab it. I will ask for an athletics check, though. You wouldn't be able to just automatically get on top, but let's see. 7.
I'll use my inspiration for that.
All right, roll your inspiration. You are hanging off of a ledge.
Lance is sitting and going, well, that didn't work as planned.
And you're 40 feet up if you drop.
Nah, can he hang on the ledge?
Yeah, you can hang on the ledge.
Okay.
But you can't see above it. Like, I'm not sure what you're going to do for your action.
Lance is going to he's gonna reach in his bag and toss just an Orca Cola this direction with one hand. Like trying to get it all the way over to the other side. I don't think he can throw it that far, but
yeah, it bounces, and we roll a d20 to see if it shatters or if it just bounces.
He's trying to make it break. From 40 feet, it should break in a glass bottle.
But it is also an Orca Cola bottle. So I'll say 8 or above, it breaks. 7 or below, it's still standing. Yeah, it shatters. Okay.
Now there's glass that she has to step on and trip.
I mean, she's wearing boots, so.
But she might slip on the cola. She's not
5,
expecting it.
10. She sees it, glances over. What are you doing? Oh.
I have a plan.
She kind of like chuckles as she wants to do things, but she's also trying to give you an opportunity. She's like, I mean, you're all right, and she's gonna cast Hold Person. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. Wow, you resisted.
Lance just screams freedom when he feels the spell touch him.
She's like, I can respect that. She will just, she's very confused, but she's like, okay. Let me just mark off that spell slot. All right. Yeah, she'll just wait there and just watch you, kind of like arms folded, just watching you as you're there, partially obscured by the wall. It is
Right.
your turn.
Can I try to climb up again?
All right, this is gonna be an athletics check. So roll an athletics check. You are able to pull yourself up. I will say that does take your action because this is like 6 seconds of doing a pull up for it.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you are now up there. That is your action. You can have movement and bonus.
Lance is gonna go stand over here.
All right, she kind of like sees you running over, kind of like after doing that, like pulling yourself up and everything.
And he's gonna send Sheldon to distract again.
Ball command. Wisdom save, please.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you you ignore it as you're pushing past. You could definitely tell she's pushing. This is actually a good thing for you. You are resisting all of the spells, which is a good thing. But it is your turn again.
Lance is just being stubborn. Let's see. Lance is just gonna. Well, he wants to save his spells. She's a cleric. It's funny. Lance is gonna make the bells ring in her head.
Okay, you're casting Toll the Dead.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, she just
The bells ring and nothing happens.
yeah. If nothing else,
I'm gonna move over here, and then I'm gonna Misty Step onto this side.
all right. She kind of like glances as as you're stepping over, and she'll move past Sheldon, look over, and she is going to cast. She'll do it one more time. Fall. Another Wisdom save. Yeah, you plummet down. And that's 4d10.
4d10.
Sorry, not 4d6. Sorry, 4d6.
I was like, what kind of fall damage are we running in this game?
18 as you slam onto the ground. And she'll just walk over gingerly to stand like over you, kind of like arm around your head, kind of like looking. She's like, "You okay? Right?"
Lance just looks up and smiles, and he's probably got blood running down his face from his nose hitting the concrete.
Yeah. Anything? It's your turn again. Do you do anything?
Well, he'll stand up.
After movement?
And then he's going to. He's mad that he fell and embarrassed. So he's going to hit her with the cane.
Okay. Roll your attack. She blocks with her cane. Anything bonus?
Hold on. Yeah, he's going to Misty Step behind these guys over here.
All right. There's some of them are just laughing at the spectacle. Just nods. They on their turn before anything else, because they usually are initiative 10. They're just gonna move away from you. And
come on, guys! You were supposed to. I thought we were all a team here.
She will go over, and she is going to, as she closes the distance. Let me just check her spell list. I think I prepared it. I did. That's the one. All right.
She's giving him the bad touch.
She gives you the bad touch. 14.
Shield.
You used to see the wash of necrotic energy around your shield.
Hey. Normally, I'd be into that, but not right now.
Turn.
Lance will take It doesn't matter because they hit automatically. And now Lance will take a step back.
You do provoke an opportunity attack. She will use it to use her Warcaster feat. And you already used your, oh no, it's new turn, so you can use shield for this if you want. But she will cast Guiding Bolt. She'll cast it at 2nd level. Where is that? Guiding Bolt. There you are. 26 hit?
Yeah, and I can't even shield that.
Yep, 19 points of damage.
And Lance goes night-night.
You just and you're unconscious for a few seconds before she casts Healing Word on you. Well, that you really run fast. She helps you stand up if you accept her hand.
Yeah, Lance will stand up and be like, well, I was kind of picked on as a kid, so I learned to get away from the bullies. Attack and run. Gorilla.
There's a lot of ingenuity in you.
Yeah.
And she does lift up your hand. There is respectful applause for things. And I want you to roll me with advantage and intelligence. Roll an intelligence check with advantage, please. 20. Yeah, you definitely show that you know how to coordinate things for it, if nothing else. So, strategy.
He dealt some damage, but he was just more of like, hide. Use the terrain to his advantage.
Yep. With that being said, you leave Skender's Guild. Let me roll one last time for things. And you receive in the morning a sending. Lance Black, we would be honored to accept you into Skender's Guild if you're willing to join. If so, please come in at noon.
Okay, thanks.
And you join the rest in some hoo-ha camaraderie.
I haven't decided if I'm going to join yet. Lance wants to talk to everybody after we all know who gets in.
Okay. The checks,
The dividing the treasure, having more people in there is the only thing keeping Lance involved in this.
Yeah.
Is that if he doesn't join, that's one less share of treasure we get.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I can't hear you, Alice.
Actually, yeah, I can hear.
Oh, no, that was just me going, that's why he cared about Alice.
No, he cared about Alice before he knew that's how they paid out.
Before they pick it. All right.
And now he really cares about Alice now that he knows that.
With that being said, we're switching over. Well, right now it's 8:25. Let's take our 15-minute break. Come back at 8:40 Pacific Standard Time, and we'll see how things go. So until then, everyone, see you soon. Bye.
We're back.
Welcome back, everyone. We are back from our break. Hopefully, everyone's a little bit recharged and ready to get going with the whatever is going on with this shenanigans. So, we're doing the time soup wherever I. So, there's a quick recap. Calliope, you got in. You got offered it after a very timid interview, but then a spectacular combat presentation. Lance, you also had an interesting interview and an interesting combat experience. Also, were offered into it, and we'll see if you join or not. Let's now time soup back to Zanny. Zanny, would you be early or late or on time? How would you do this with Skender's Guild?
Probably showing up about half an hour early.
Okay, so you would have been there right as Lance is going to his interview, and you would have been there right as M and Calliope are leaving. So,
Okay.
after or any passing words to the Fey Giant and the Human Gunslinger?
I'm kind of just staying out of the way and just watching. I'm getting my own head straight for my interview, and I see the happy, and I'm just like, I mark it for later, and I'm just like, right now I'm working on me.
All right. You do notice around like 15 minutes before your scheduled time, there is another person that enters the guild. She is looks like an orc or a half orc with bright pink hair. Muscular, definitely very, very muscular. As she goes and she sits in the chair waiting for her time to be called. But overall, she kind of like is more focused on herself, and you can kind of see like her hands kind of like tapping the desk, the table for it, as she's waiting for her turn to be called. But is there anything Zanny is thinking or doing as before she's called?
She's side eyeing this woman, not in the how dare you way, just kind of like just looking her over, noticing all the little idiosyncrasies and going, and then just same girl, same.
Yep. Eventually, you do see Lance comes out for after his interview. Lance, you can also do parting things or anything with Zanny before she's being called.
Lance, if Lance makes eye contact with Zanny, he'll just kind of give her a, I don't know.
Yep.
There.
Lance, you head out and you notice a little bit that the other person doesn't leave at exactly the same time as you for it. The other person that was like being interviewed at the same time as you. This one.
Do I think she already left?
You have no idea. There's no indication whether or not she's still there or she left before you for it.
Lance will hang out for a minute until Zanny goes in.
Yep.
See if she leaves.
For you, Zanny, you would be or not you would wait, and you do see that this female, which you would later find out from Erlon, named Sundus, goes and approaches the orc and escorts her towards her interview. Nora does go over to you, Zanny. Sorry, they're just running a little over. They'll be with you as soon as they can.
Okay.
Eventually, after like 5 or 10 minutes, she comes out. And Lance, you said you were waiting inside the guild or outside the guild?
Inside, he's kind of not like talking to Zanny, but kind of like near Zanny-ish.
You there? All right, you're probably like sitting right next to her, right here.
Yeah.
Make sure, yeah, the map's on there. Go. Finally, you see the other individual walking out, as she's leaving, kind of like pulling her hood closer to her as she goes.
How does she look?
You can roll an insight check if you want. You have no idea. As he's just very
Mysterious.
quickly pulling and moving at a fast pace towards the door. And she's gone. Nora then. Oh, go ahead.
That was it.
Okay. Nora does come to you, Zanny. All right. The guild master's waiting for you, or ready for you now.
The guild master. Oh fuck.
It's all right. He's nice. Don't worry. He's not gonna be. Well, you'll see. He's good. He's good.
Okay.
And you are led to this office right here.
Lands. Zanny walks off with to a, and you get a string in your head through her telepathy of, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Lance doesn't have a way to communicate back other than
Yeah, this one way.
If you turn and look back, Lance is just sitting there going.
With that said, you go in and you are meeting with Enmarin Steelboots, the Dwarven Guildmaster. All right. Well, welcome, Zanashara Glory Song Ventiri.
It's a mouthful. Zanny will do just fine.
Exactly. All right. Apologies for late, the lateness for the interview.
Oh no, you're fine. As soon as I got called into the guildmaster's office, I thought I was in trouble or something. That's all.
No, not in trouble. It's me as well as Etor doing the interviews.
Okay.
Please have a seat.
Yes.
All right. Well, I read your interview, that's Kassan error. I read your application for it.
Mhm.
You seem to be very well experienced. You have a lot of formal training and education, lots of doctorates in applied parapsychology, chemistry, lots of specializations I am frankly completely unaware of.
And I will add that if you want, you can verify the two doctor theses through through Daystone down south.
Understood.
I was self-taught, but I applied for my
Well,
credentials through them.
Let's focus in on that. Tell me a little bit more about yourself that's not on this application.
I'm the granddaughter of a famous adventurer, and I constantly have to live up to that bullshit.
All right. Anything
The
else
good
about
news
that?
is I'm good at it.
The bad news?
I'm really good at it. So good that my family likes me doing it a lot.
Do you think that's part of your greatest strengths?
And my flaws. I'm really good
Okay.
at handling stuff for my family, but I'm really bad at telling them no. Because
All right.
sometimes you shouldn't do it.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, sometimes they ask you to do favors for them, and it's just, well, sometimes maybe you should handle it yourself instead of asking me to do it for you. Family business. I'm not talking guild stuff.
And you said that that's part of your greatest weakness, is not being able to say no?
Sometimes you can say yes to too much. Turns in a little bit too much, and then something gets slipped through the cracks, and then somebody dies. It's. I was raised in a high stakes environment.
I'm familiar with the Venturi bloodline. The the Venturis, or Valashara Venturi, was one of the heroes that helped in the World Mountains eliminate the Silver War Breakers, the Mind Flayer colony.
Oh yeah, that little bit. yeah, my granddaddy was part of that. Yeah, that was him. And I mean, and them, but he was there.
So,
Um,
legacy aside, why are you interested in Skinner's Guild? Is it purely
Well-
for legacy or something else?
oh no, it has nothing to do with legacy. Honestly, I came up to Airmer to get away from it all. I came up here on vacation, and then I kind of got saddled with something else, and I decided to make the best of it. So I wanted to sign up here, and I wanted to do some good while I'm around.
And what do you define as good?
I mean, taking missions on, helping people out, um, making sure that the local potion stocks for the guild might be, a little bit more shored up. Which, by the way, I'd be willing to offer services on the side as an apothecary and help take care of those. But anyway, that's another thing. We'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But
there
I mean,
is-
yeah.
Well, you mentioned apothecary. Is that a specialty of your? Well, I read your application. It does mention the chemistry part of it,
Mhm.
but is that something you particularly find yourself in that field?
I find myself drawn to the world of the extraplanar. I find myself drawn to strange and unique things. I've I've been adventuring for a while. This is full disclosure. This is my second time around, sweetie. I'm over 100 years old, and my first group they didn't fare so well. They didn't
The, the
make it.
variables.
Yeah, they didn't make it. In any of them, I'm the only surviving member, and went through a long period of therapy and recovery. Dealt with a lot of stuff. Still got some more to deal with, but finally felt good enough to get up on my feet. So I came up here. Next thing I know, ha,
Well, this is a bit of a brotherhood that you were, if you were to join Skender's Guild for it.
Hmm.
Not sure how much you know about the history of Skender's Guild, and he would go into kind of like the
Yeah.
Skender's Guild history, the Janissary revolt, et cetera, just saving it instead of
Yep.
for time
Not
element
a
and-
lick.
Yeah. Brotherhood is important, but so is the mission.
Mhm.
You've already suffered loss once. But I have to ask, if you had to pick between the life of your comrades or the success of the mission, which would you pick?
I need to answer your question with another question. Are you talking about winning the battle or are you talking about winning the war?
More.
Then, yeah, then sacrifices, they're inevitable. But you do everything you can to minimize. And in the case of certain very lucky groups, they get through and everybody manages to make it through the end. My group wasn't as fortunate, and I'm hoping that this time around I can get different results, as I would say as a scientist.
Mm-hmm. And if I was to ask you about the battle,
The one that took him,
no, if you had to pick between the life of your comrades, you asked me a question about if we're talking about the battle or the war.
well, for the battle, I'd be willing to sacrifice myself for the battle, but not anybody else.
Understood.
The war's more important.
Do you have any questions for me at this
I mean, y'all, y'all look like you're doing pretty decent for yourself. I mean, why? Shoot me straight, sweetheart. I guess I kind of got lucky talking to you. I mean, are you all like looking that hard for recruiting? You have. I'm looking around. You got plenty of competent people here.
We do, but we need to make sure that it's not just us. We are looking at expanding the guild. And please don't call me sweetheart.
Fair. Yes, sir.
And you definitely can say he's well over. He's an older dwarf for things. with
Finally,
it.
somebody older than me.
Yeah, he's like 350. Like,
Yes.
so we have experienced some losses recently, and we want to build up our numbers again. Once upon a time, this guild hall was packed. We had cohorts, but now it's just down to us. So we're looking to reinvigorate the guild, especially in these trying times.
Understand. I I believe I'd be a genuine asset to you all if you'd have me. Of course.
And we are interested. That's why we have this interview. Let me discuss a little bit more about what the path looks forward for it. And he kind of discusses the logistics of it, same old, pay,
Mhm.
the battle, the combat, then the guild getting the sendings for it. He discusses kind of like indemnification. You don't tell people like, oh yeah, you don't use the guild's name in vain for it, or try to use it for criminal activity. The whole
Yeah.
spiel. Afterwards, he then does mention we do also need to screen you, as we mentioned on the application, with detect
Mhm.
thoughts. Do you
Saw that. I do. Uh, are you going to be the one doing it? Okay. It's kind of just a fair warning thing I give to people that do this thing. I do have Dreamkin blood in me, and this bloodline is connected to a spirit. So if you go looking, something might be looking back.
Understood. I'll try to keep it safe and just focus on, well, your true thoughts.
Hey, and I'll be as direct and straightforward as I can so that I can kind of limit your exposure.
All right. And he casts the spell for the detect thoughts, and he asks you the question: are you here to infiltrate Skender's guild for any nefarious purpose?
Absolutely not.
Yep. And do you willingly fail to save?
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
give up.
I'm assuming you're truthful.
Yeah,
So
I am.
he passes through it. Well, won't lie. I'm particularly interested in seeing you for the combat. Not because of, well, the legacy element, but more importantly, the diverse skills that you can bring.
Well,
Let's see, though, what is to come tomorrow after I consider with the others and with Etor.
okay. Guess I best go prepare in case you all invite me back for round 2, huh?
Yes. Zanny, roll me a persuasion check. 19. Yep. Other parts of the interview happen, but eventually you head off. And I'll ask Lance, were you there the whole time waiting, or would you have left? Or bored?
Lance would have hung out because he wants to watch these guys.
Yeah. You do see they kind of will roll an insight check. Yeah, they kind of like eye you a couple of times. You get the feeling like they would probably be in a more relaxed, casual kind of like stances and such if you weren't there. But they are kind of like having to stand, and they kind of like occasionally whisper to each other little tidbits here and there. But mostly they are trying to stay formal with things. You do see that there seems to be like a friendship between these three, between well, you don't know their names yet, but Klein, Sophia, and Nora. Um, while Ali and Sundus over here kind of like are just chatting a couple of times, but then eventually kind of quiet down and stay apart.
If there's no one else here during this time, after about 10 minutes, Lance would just like kind of look up and be like, why are you guys so serious all the time? I thought this was a guild hall. Aren't you guys supposed to be having crazy parties and drinking and telling great stories of old?
I mean, yeah, but right now we're trying to present ourselves in case someone else comes in. We need to be professional, as Etor and Enmarin say. Klein is the one who's answering you. Believe me, it's much more crazy once you join in.
Well, I would hope so, because, I mean, I know you guys are being professional, but you kind of look boring.
You do notice, like, Nora chuckles at that, and Sophia's like, gets a little offended, like, we are anything but boring.
Fine,
Anything.
come have a drink with me, all of you.
You see
Lance will
Nora,
roll out.
like, you see Sophia is the first to just grab a drink, and Ollie's like, Sophia,
Lance pulled out a bottle of a rock. His own, not Alice's.
yeah, Sophia would join you with a disapproving glare from Ollie. Sundus, let me roll for them. Yeah, Sundus will join. And let me roll for Klein. No. So just Sophia and Sundus join you.
This is why he got invited back. Not because of his interview.
Eventually, though, they do kind of stand up, especially when the next couple of individuals come in for them coming in their interviews. You do notice a catkin as well as a half elf. The catkin looks clad in like black leather, has a hood up and everything for it. He definitely has a couple of knives and daggers on his belt. And the other individual seems to walk with a certain element of grace, but has a very vibrant orange hood shawl around him.
Does he look magic-y?
A little bit, maybe. You're not entirely sure. He is wearing robes. So Sophia and Sundus, after seeing more people come in, do take a couple, like, go back to it. They thank you for the Arak. Eventually, though, the Barbarian and Zanny come out. Zanny, do you have anything to say with regards to, like, Lance or Lance with Zanny, or no?
By the time I come out, he's already done drinking.
Yep.
Okay.
He
yeah.
still has the bottle out. You're totally welcome to have one.
No, not that. Just doesn't see him drinking with the other ones. She'll come over to the table on her way out and just and have a seat. Just and look at the bottle and go, think I nailed it.
Nice. I did not, so I was Curry in favor otherwise.
Oh, that's the. Oh, you. Okay, yeah. How many did they have?
Yep. In time, I'm going to expedite this a little bit because I know we have just like about an hour left. I do a lot of stuff. So, you guys leave the guild eventually. Zanashara, you do get ascending in the morning, offering you a position for the combat trial. Do you accept it?
Yeah, and I start going through my formula book and just start working up all the nasty stuff.
Cool. And when you arrive, do you pick a veteran or do you ask to fight something that's summoned?
You know what? I'll fight a veteran. Why not?
All right.
I wanted to kind of spin the wheel, but I'm like, no, I'll go for a veteran.
You will be facing Darius, the gunslinger.
Okay.
All right. I have the initiative order, so you have one round to prepare. Do you prepare anything in anticipation?
I do not actually. I don't. Nope. I don't have anything that I'm gonna do ahead of time.
All right. Then, without further ado, roll initiative.
All right, here we go. This is gonna be funny. Oh, okay. Well, I'll take a bloody 10.
Almost. He rolled bad, but yeah, 10 is good, but he does have the quick draw element for him. All right. very beginning, you have your shotgun out.
I've got my shotgun in my hand. I haven't actually drawn it up yet.
Wait, is it in your hand, like ready to go, or is
It's in my hand and it's loaded.
Okay.
I mean, this guy's a gunslinger. He could tell this, like, I'm ready to use it. I just don't have my finger on the trigger yet.
Yeah, but you still have hold of it, so it's his turn. He's going to take one shot with his rifle, and he's also going to be doing a disarming shot at you right off the bat.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that
hit,
hits.
Hitting your hand also, and I need you to make I believe, a strength saving throw for it.
Oof. Nope.
Yeah, it goes careening out of your hand. And your hand is
That's
bloody
fine.
from it. You do hear kind of like Etor grunt a little bit. And Darius just like, all right, go pick it up.
Ow. No, I'm good. Fuck. Plan B it is. I just reach into my coat and fling a dart at him as I slap him with a paralytic for my turn.
You pay a pair of what?
A paralytic. I'm going to cast Hold Person.
Gotcha. Hold person it is. Darius. All right. He rolled a 24.
Yeah, he's going to pass on that. That's great.
He is for his turn, he kind of like reloads again his rifle and just stands there waiting and gives you another turn to do something else.
See, I thought we were fighting.
So did I.
Oh, now you got lip. Just reach into my pocket and pull out a bony finger. Leslie, fuck his ass up, and I cast Grasping Ghost.
Okay. Yeah, so what Grasping Ghost?
So that's a DC 16 strength save.
Strength save. All right.
As I hold my as I hold literally what's left of my husband and will him to raise his hand out of the ground, and nothing
there are
happens.
Spectral hands that try to grab onto him, and he just jumps away from them, and then he does like kind of like resist from them, but it breaks free for it. All right. Is that it?
Yeah, that's about it.
He's just gonna kind of like switch his rifle, and he's gonna let's see what he's gonna pull out. Yeah, and he's just gonna walk over, spinning a dagger, and he's just gonna try to slash at you with crit. Okay, so that's 4.
Oh, I'm done.
13. Okay,
I'm done.
and you collapse.
How much? I mean, how much is the crit? He might kill
4.
me.
No, it's 4 plus 8. So 12 points of damage.
Yeah, cool. I'm down.
All right. You are brought back up. And Darius is like, all right, offers you his hand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you accept it or
Just no? I push myself up to my own feet. Fuck that.
no? Darius just shrugs at the rest of the group, and you can roll an insight check. '26. You definitely see a lot of disapproval with how Darius did it. Edmarin nods. Darius, a word, please. He just like walks off with the guildmaster. After like a minute or so, he does come back, and Darius takes his place in the middle. And the guildmaster approaches you. You never really got a shot in with Darius. I want to see what you can do. Are you willing to take a few shots at a target?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let me clean the blood off me first.
Enron nods, heads, takes a step back, and you do notice Sophia, the monk, heads over and goes to the back. And when she comes back half walking, half holding an individual. You notice there is a golem that's walking towards, and she's kind of like holding his hand and is like, good luck, and heads off. Oh, that's Clayton, by the way. He's a clay golem.
Hi, Clayton. Nice to meet you.
He just stares at you with like a frown. All right, if you want, take some shots at Clayton. Show us what you can do.
Now I'll go pick up my shotgun.
Right. And you take your aim, and please
Rat
fire a couple of rounds.
bastards. Action. There you are, Patience. Will you do? There you go. There we go.
That hits. Roll damage. Clayton takes some shots. You see, like some of it hits some of the armor and bounces, but the shot more hits the body, and you do see the clay that he is literally made out of just take the shot and slowly start to close up for it. And you have an opportunity to shoot one more time.
Oh, you're one of them. Oh well, now I don't feel as bad. I'll switch over and fire a couple of Eldritch Blasts.
All right, fire your Eldritch Blasts.
Because now I'm level 5, so I get 2 of those.
Yep. All right. 13 and 24. 13 impacts, but doesn't really do anything off of the armor. You kind of overshoot the head versus the shoulder, but the other one does impact its face, caves it in a little bit, and then it kind of smushes back into place, doing 9 points of force damage. You're offered one last shot. You got 3 attempts to hit, or like 3 rounds to hit it.
Just for funsies' sake. Poison needle. It's a construct. Literally will do nothing to it.
Nope, but does at least show what you're capable of. So fire away. 14, it dings off of its armor, kind of doing nothing at the moment. All right, I think we've seen enough. Thank you, Zanny, for being able to show us some of your skill. He kind of like glances at Darius for a bit, who's just like arms folded a bit.
Yeah, no problem.
He kind of like walks past and looks at Clayton, and thank you, Clayton. We do appreciate you all the time.
Thank you very much, Clayton. It
walks
is
off.
good to meet you.
Yeah, he does like nod at you, can't speak, but understands. He just heads off. Probably to go get a mud bath.
Gotta
With
put
that
them back
said,
together now.
you have the opportunity to leave if you want. For all that said and done, what would be Xanashar's mood for the rest of the day? Just out of curiosity.
She's just trying not to kick her own ass.
Gotcha. For roll me an intelligence check, please. $23. They definitely saw some of your elements of like your strategy when you were like looking at the construct, analyzing the construct's weaknesses and everything. also during the fight with Darius, they also saw elements of how you were handling yourself, trying to think of different ways to handle this gunslinger that you were facing. The next day,
All Zanny sees is her throwing her literal biggest and best that she has at this guy, and he just kind of went, "That was cool."
yeah.
And so she's just like, "Yeah, it's about right. 20 years ago."
In the morning though of the 3rd, at 8:30, you do receive a sending. Thank you, Zanishara. We would like to offer you a position at Skender's Guild. If you're still interested, please come in at noon to sign the paperwork.
There is no reply, but acknowledgement of receipt.
Gotcha. And with that said, we're doing a timey-wiminess element for it. Just very quickly, want to ask Lumi, or sorry, Alice, would you go on time to your meeting?
Of course, a lady is always on time.
Great. Because of the timey-wimey element of it, we're actually going to do the dinner first to see if there's anything that anyone wants to talk about for role-playing purposes. So, just because it's going to then flow into it. So,
This is after this.
this is after the first night of interviews. So all of you just had your interviews. This is before the combat. You all decided to group up, come back together, and have discussions with things. And I'll just put you back on this screen. With that being said, you all are gathered about. It is the first of heat, and you are gathered about for dinner for the first time. Actually, yeah, the first time all 7 of you, plus Geith, I'm assuming if he was invited, would also be there. And yeah, let's roll some dice for a moment. Everyone, if you can, roll me a d20.
Oh, God. Hey.
All right, well, we got above the curve. So 16, 4.
Apparently, I just need to complain before I roll the dice.
20, 15, 20, 17, and Chance 16. Okay. Could Chance and Alice roll one more time? Another d20, please.
Ooh.
I thought that was a 1 too. I saw the red because like the little dice on mine looks red. I was like, oh God, there's like...
Cool. Okay. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, Lance, let's start with you. As everyone's gathering about, you've seen a couple of people having conversations right before the kind of the appetizers are ordered and everything, but everyone kind of like sits around the long table that's there, the 8-top on in the restaurant over in the Marjorie Hotel. Is there anything Lance is doing, saying, or conversations he's having?
I don't know. I mean, if anybody asked him how it went, he's gonna tell him. I don't know. When you ask him if you're what's the policy on carrying dead bodies with you, and if you can kill fellow guildmates, and asking about ways around the loopholes of paying the guild, they're probably not going to call you back. I don't know if anybody would have asked him how it went, but that's what his reply would have been.
I think someone would at least ask you that, but does anyone respond to Lance's statement about carrying dead bodies around?
I don't think
No, it's totally in line with it. Everyone just ignores it.
they didn't cover that with with me.
Oh no, they asked me if I had any questions. Those were my questions.
Can I ask you a question, Lance?
Sure.
You're a real broken toy, aren't you?
Sometimes.
Did you really think that was going to fly? And did you meet with Etor? He's a real sweet Minotaur.
I did.
Good
yes.
hugs. Good hugs.
I did not
I
hug
don't
him.
understand.
Although, I did talk to some of the veterans for a little while and had a couple drinks with them. Alice, you would have been proud. I didn't even share your booze.
You say that like that was on the table at all.
Well, it's always on the table, or under the table.
You're not drinking my booze, are you?
I am not.
Can I inside check him?
You can. Lance, roll a deception check.
He is not at this very moment.
He's
Someone's about to
not at
find
this
out how
very moment.
Alice can fight.
Is absolutely what he's trying to insinuate with that 11 deception.
Darling, we're going to have a talk if this keeps up.
It was the open bottle, and I grabbed the wrong one. It was one drink.
Well, there's a big difference between actually one drink and, like, one of our drinks.
A normal person drink.
Okay.
And you can't even tell. Look it. And he holds the bottle up. Look it, you can't even tell.
What did you put in there? Don't tell me you put water in there.
No, of course not.
Okay.
Taste it.
Alice is going to take just a normal, nice big swig. What does it taste like?
It is diluted.
Oh, it comes pre-mixed. Lovely.
It's not water.
Alice is going
That's
to
too
pour herself a
expensive.
drink out of it.
Perfect. If nothing else, and you guys can still have other conversations, we're just giving this platform for anyone who wants to talk here. You can also do RP in the RP chats, but let's make sure everyone just has at least the opportunity here for it. Let's go to Calliope. Calliope, are you having any other conversations with anyone in at this moment?
Oh, I think we knew this was coming. She's just tugging on Chance's sleeve and just explaining, basically taking her step by step, going back 2 steps and starting again, repeating, and just going over the interview and just how proud she is.
Yep. And Chance, do you have any general vibe that Chance would have to Calliope going step by step with it all?
I'll just listen to her.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, nothing else. Chance, you're actually up next. Would you have any conversations in the RP, whether you want to do it in the RP chat, you can. But if you want to take this moment to talk to any multiple members, you absolutely can right now.
So just talk to whoever.
Gotcha. All right. Anything else? Then Alice, is there any conversations you want to have with anyone at this moment?
She's just generally conversing with the crowd. Nothing in particular, but just as conversation happens. She's trying to be a good part of a family that Zanny wants, so she's trying to play the good role of older sister at this point.
Gotcha.
She's
Yeah.
very much anyone with a decent amount of insight. Alice is kind of faking it till she makes it. She's clearly still slightly upset, but she's doing the role of a good lady and, making conversation where conversations do.
And everyone would know that this is or would get the feeling that this is based off of Bruce leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she's fine. She needs a night to get over it.
Perfect. And we go to Erlon. Is there anything Erlon is doing, boasting, saying on this night?
If it's right after interviews, it's probably going to be addressing the elephant in the room and wondering why Alice didn't get called back for an interview.
Is this before or after my sending?
I think you would get it at this exact moment.
She's
for fun.
gonna have her hand up, and that's when she's gonna reply to it and go, Erlan, I have no idea what you're talking about. I have an interview tomorrow. They just, had to get through the lesser people first, and the VIPs are tomorrow.
Hmm. Huh. Wonder how that happened.
Darling, they know quality when they see it.
Oh my god. I'm done with you. Sure, Alice. Yeah, sure.
Well, Erlan, how else do you expect to get into the guild? I mean, you're a quality little man. I'm sure your interview went well today.
I feel like it went well.
That's it? That's all?
Hmm.
Just it went well?
I mean, what else did you expect? I'm Big Red.
I believe I heard you shrieking down the hallways this morning.
Yeah, and I knew it was gonna go well. Obviously, I wasn't scared at all.
No?
I'm Big Red.
Is that, I'm gonna ask just as a quick, is that a persuasion, a deception, or is that actually
That is a complete deception.
Then roll a deception check, please.
Should I roll an insight?
You can roll an insight.
Fuck your insights.
It's not good.
I'm listening to hear if there's any deception at any point in time. So Alice, you got a 12, and Erlon, okay. Well,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
wait.
My passive insight's 18. I should have gone with that.
Yeah, no. So yeah, he apparently did not phase him at all. And you definitely, with your conversations with him and spending the afternoon with him, you know just automatically that he was nervous based off of things. So if you want to add anything, but Alice, you're convinced, yeah, he was excited for it and he knew it would go well, and it went well.
Well, darling, perhaps you can give me a little insight into what I need to say to wow the judges or whatever.
I mean, Alice, we both know you're just gonna talk about yourself.
Yes, darling, it's an interview for myself to get into a guild. Who else would I talk about?
And what do you
Shut
think
fair
Big
point.
Red talked about?
A Big Red, clearly. So is
Exactly.
that the deal? I just talk about myself.
Sure, you are going to just pass with flying colors.
Maybe also mention that you're a team player.
Wait, what? Why would you do that, Lance?
Because it might help.
But I believe I said specifically in my application that I was a team player and that my whole, role here is to help people.
Miss
Yes.
Alice, may I offer a piece of advice?
Of course, darling.
Oh God.
I would say be yourself. And what I mean by that is let them see who the person is. Because I think that you are a really good person. And you don't have to perform for them. They don't need you to be on point, if you know what I mean. Just be yourself. Because I think you're just fine.
Mm.
I'm going to pass over the fact that was a little bit of a backhand compliment. I'm more than just fine, clearly. But I appreciate that,
See,
Calliope.
that's what I mean.
Elaborate.
I think Calliope's saying be Alice. Alice, not
I can
Alice
speak for
Mazaire.
myself, Lance. I can
I'm s-
speak for myself.
My apologies.
Alice, you need to understand. May I know what your name was, your maiden name was before you got married?
Oh, yes, it's Ayashol.
Alice, I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
It's Ayashol. It's Ayashol.
Ayashol?
Ayashol.
Alice Ireshaw is enough for this guild. Alice Mazaire may be a little too much. All I'm going to say is until you're comfortable in your skin, I forgot what I was going to say.
I
Oh, you're
appreciate.
so close.
I appreciate the sentiment. I understand what you're trying to say, and if anything,
No, I don't think you do.
no, I do. The problem is Alice Ayashol is the person who wanted so desperately to become Alice Mazaire, and it's Alice Mazaire who wants so desperately to become anything but what she is. So I don't think I should be Alice Aishol. I think that would be the opposite of a good idea.
I think you should just be Alice and not worry about what your surname is.
That is the plan. The problem is I have been, you guys think this is all an act. This is how I've lived for 18 years at this point.
No, I don't think it's an act. And that's what breaks my heart.
Eventually. Appetizers served, and after the appetizers, you all are able to enjoy it. But midway through the and anything else, not to cut anyone off, but you absolutely still do the RP for it. But Zanny, is there anything Zanny you want to do or say during the dinner?
I futz around with the guitar that Alice brought, that Alice got her for a very, very long time. She has tuned it, and she keeps going back and forth about whether or not she's going to do it, and then eventually she just sits down, and there's no introduction to it or anything. Then she just everybody's just milling around talking. And then she just one moment she just sits it on her knee and just starts playing it.
Okay.
So just giving people background music and once and almost in an attempt to get people to like, hey, there's a thing.
All right, roll a performance check with the guitar.
Would Zany be offended if Alice joined as like background harmony? As like
Not at all.
assistance for the performance role? Because Alice brings her violin everywhere. It's her thingy
Oh my
now.
God.
So if that's the case, Zanny, you can roll with advantage.
Oh, thank God.
No.
Oh, that is a spinny boy.
And that is a 23. It is a really good performance with the guitar, with the right accents and accentuations from a violin. Thanks to Alice.
She has taken a song from her grandfather's book and is playing the Ring of Fire.
She's playing the what?
She's playing the Ring of Fire.
The Ring of Fire. Gotcha.
Alice can't fiddle.
Guess what? You better keep up, sweetie.
It's Alice who's having trouble to keep up.
And Zanny is the forefront, the star in here, and she's able to kind of like do the more forefront of the performance, while Zanny is kind of like helping mirror or do other things here and there for it. It's an exciting moment because it's very much with like a roommate culture. Music is always welcome. You guys are able to enjoy the pleasant music as you're eating dinner and your entrees are served. Speaking of which, let's just go really quickly and ask what your characters would usually order as an entree. And this one will go in alphabetical order. So Alice, what would Alice normally order just as an entree?
What would I order as an entree? Okay, Gasan, she's kind of actually would take a gauge of the rest of the table before she orders. I'm gonna be completely honest with you because she doesn't know if she wants to, kind of eat like the people or eat,
Okay.
a little bit fancy food.
Yeah, we'll see. Then let's.
Is Zanny clocking her like having that hesitation?
Sure.
Tug, tug, tug.
Downing what?
Eat anything and everything you want.
I'm not a foodie. Lumi is not a foodie, so just whatever looks Alice-y on the menu.
Fair. How does salmon with asparagus sound?
That sounds delightful. Can I have koshery at some point during this campaign?
Sure, we'll see.
Nice. Really downgrade Alice. That's what's gonna humble her.
So awesome.
Also my favorite food.
Yeah. Chance, what would Chance be order? No, sorry, Calliope. We're going in order. Calliope, what would Calliope be ordering for dinner?
For dinner, I think Calliope would ask, "Do you have any aged whiskey?"
We do.
I'll just have the bottle.
So Calliope is drinking booze for dinner. So awesome. It's very dwarven. All right. Chance, what does Chance usually order, or what would she like to order if she's at a nice restaurant?
Well, what is the restaurant?
We're playing kind of like, wait, what do you mean? What is the restaurant like? What's on the
I mean,
menu?
first, first of all, what like class of restaurant, what sorts of things are on the menu, and then secondly, because we've got this like Middle Eastern, like what regional dishes are there, so I could, focus
Yeah.
on what would be on the menu that she could order.
Yep. There would be I would say right now, because you're in Jeddah, more like if you, for real earth reference, like Saudi Arabia food for it. That would be probably like the main focus on like the Middle Eastern area for it. But there's lots of lamb, chicken, beef, as well as pig, as well as different types of like salads, fatoush, tabbouleh. You have all the different like shish kebab also being offered. You have the meat pizzas that are also being offered, as well as they do, because it is a hotel, and the because it is a hotel, I would say that they would also have a few Rian dishes if she would be interested in trying them, like traditional like European dishes for it, as well as pastas and such. But if you're talking about like class, I would say this, because it's a hotel, think like upper class restaurant, not like a triple diamond 5-star crazy hotel restaurant, but just like really good food restaurant.
I'm gonna do some googling.
Yeah. I will say there's lots of rice on the dishes and lots of spices that would also be added for it.
I googled Saudi food, and there's a lot of good-looking stuff on here.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, it's so good.
So I'll come back to you, Chance, if you need just a moment for it. But yeah, let's go then to M. What would M be ordering?
He will just he'll ask for whatever the chef's signature meal is.
Excellent. So yeah, he would bring him some shish kebab for it. So 3 shish kebabs, 1 beef, 1 chicken, 1 lamb for it, with all the different seasons and some riyad fries as well.
Nice.
Sweet. All right. Erlon, what would Erlon be ordering?
Obviously the main food groups like protein.
Protein.
So basically the
kebab?
kebabs.
Or okay, great.
Yeah.
Either that or protein and carbs, which is like the meat pizzas that they have.
Yeah.
So just meat.
Erlon, I will take a meat pizza with 9 shish
Extra
kebabs on
meat.
the side.
Yeah, exactly.
So perfect. And that actually goes to Lance. Lance, what do you order?
You said they had European dishes, right?
Yeah, the Rhea dishes. Yep.
Would they have something like a beef Wellington on the menu?
Sure.
Oh my god.
Lance would see that and go, "Oh, that looks good." Because if they didn't have that, he was going to order kabsa.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, because it's a hotel,
He's like, "Oh, that looks different. I haven't had that before."
Yeah, so you're able to order your beef Wellington. Now all I can hear is just Gordon Ramsay from the Hell's Kitchen. Where's the Wellington? It's pink in the middle.
3 Wellington, 1 steak.
Yeah, the way
2
he reads
fish.
the recipe very quickly and then just moves, or the orders. So awesome. All right, and Zanny, what would Zanny be ordering for her dinner?
Probably some stuffed grape leaves and some shawarma, and probably a meat pizza to save for later, because she just got a project she's working on back in the room, so
Yep.
she's gonna need power food later.
Perfect. Perfect. And yeah, let's circle back. Chance, did you make a decision?
Not really. If they have a vegetarian Jarish,
They would. So, and you got a very delicious vegetarian dish for it.
Oh, there is one other thing I wanted to order. I'm sorry. Do they have any Rian whiskey?
They would. They have lots of drinks.
Zanny orders a bottle of Rian whiskey.
There we go.
Sorry.
Straight from the Beltlands. All right, and I think is there any other conversation M wanted to have throughout the dinner?
I don't no, I don't think he has
Wait, sorry,
anything like.
Sorry, my apologies. Wait, sorry, I misspoke. Not what you ordered for dinner. Anything you would be saying or speak. Any conversations you want.
Yeah, I figured that's what you're asking. No, I don't think he has anything specific that he needs to talk about right now. Just kind of general asking how everyone did and telling them how he did, and
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Danny, you say that you want to also have a toast, right?
Yeah. She gets she's getting the whiskey and pouring a drink for anybody that wants one. She's not forcing it on anybody, but she's actually pouring it into a glass and taking a glass for herself.
Gotcha. And what are you toasting for or to?
To us, to this new and I'm trying to find a word other than fateful partnership, but it's just not there. It's just not there. I'm so sorry. Fateful partnership. That's all I got. I was trying to get something better, but to this fateful partnership. And hopefully none of us kill each other.
Is that a threat?
Lips up his face.
And next time I'm taking one of these without this thing, just holds up the mug, is when those sons of bitches are dead in the ground.
Right. You all.
She slugs back the whole thing and hasn't drank in 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Roll con save for me, please.
I like how you drank the sip of coffee before you said that. It's just very pointed.
Yeah, it hits you. This is your first drink in a while, and you're like, wow, haven't felt that in a while. So, but hey, it's
Does not have any more.
Yeah,
He just goes full berserk, Frank the Tank.
just Liv throws up the table.
Just immediately, whatever's left of the bottle goes into Alice's hands.
You don't have to ask twice.
There
Alice
we
is already pouring more drinks.
She's
A
pouring
lovely-
5 drinks and then taking all of them.
go. A lovely dinner is had. You can RP things in the chats if you want, but it is a nice, calm dinner. An element of just relaxing and all of you starting to like unwind and trying to kind of get this familiarity going amongst you all.
DM, I have a quick question.
Sure.
How long do rations last?
1 week, I believe.
Okay. So Lance would bring up, hey, I've got a whole bunch of rations in my bag. What should I do with them? Like, do we want to go give them to poor people or something?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah,
Or
I'd say donate them, yeah.
Who wants to do that?
I'll be happy to do it with anybody who wants to.
Sorry, what are we donating? No, I wasn't paying
Giving
attention.
food to the poor.
Food to poor people.
Donate
yeah, I
leftover
can-
food, yeah.
I can do that.
Because I have
Alice,
about-
would you like to come?
It depends on the time. I have to get ready for my interview tomorrow, so it'd have to be in the morning.
Why don't we go right now?
Alice is very flushed. She's had a lot to drink, actually, so much so that I should probably just go ahead and do this.
Yeah, if you want to roll con save.
Alice is quite
Yeah.
tipsy.
Yeah.
Okay, so not now.
she hold on,
Wasn't
hold
sure
on.
how much drinks you were having, so didn't want to like For
Not
like,
she's not like drunk, but she's definitely red about the cheeks and very flush.
Zanny's probably holding onto your leg for balance.
Alice and Zanny are
Y'all-
going to woo here very quickly.
You
So-
all are very much lightweights.
Yep. So
Oh,
and I believe Calliope, the two of you do decide, at least we're volunteering to donate the rations, I believe. Is that correct? Or with someone else?
Yeah, no, we can. I'll add some good berries in there too.
Nice.
I have 30 rations that are about 4 days old at this point, I think. So
You know, maybe some of that silver that you carry is getting ready to expire as well.
yeah, I don't think so.
No, I'm serious. You should probably look again.
Does your metal
double-checked it-
expire here?
I double checked it this morning. It's fine. And I already
Maybe-
gave everybody all the silver. It's all
M
wrote
actually
down.
reaches into his coin pouch and pulls out a couple silvers and starts looking at them for an expiration date.
He finds a mint date and he's like, "Oh God, these expired 20 years ago."
Right? Roll an investigation check. Just don't roll on that one.
So do roll on that one, is what you're saying. Almost, but no.
A 10. Yeah, doesn't look like there's any issue. You look at the mint date, you're like, okay, that's when it was made. I've heard from primers they actually put words on their money. It's not just the money. I don't know why, but okay. But doesn't you even bite it a little bit? You're like, no, doesn't look like it expires.
I'll have to check on it in a few hundred years.
Yeah.
Calliope, darling, what temple are you taking it to?
I'm talking about taking it directly to the people.
You're just going to throw food down in front of the people. You're not going to give it to a
Yes.
temple whose job it is to hand out food.
Yes, I'm just gonna throw it, and whoever is the strongest gets the food.
Well, darling,
No, darling.
why not
you-
just take it to a temple?
Well, what?
Are you just going to walk down the street and yell, "Is anybody hungry?"
Well, I
Yeah,
think
you-
that you know me well enough by now that I don't yell.
Have you not seen how many people are on the streets asking for food and for change? You just
There would
say,
be-
"Hey, I actually do have some food."
Yeah. There'll be a couple homeless people in Jeddah. Yeah. Refugee crisis is slowly starting to make its way here, so there would be some members for it. Yeah.
It's
Sorry,
about
I was going to suggest if you go to a temple, go to the one that Erlon gave the full big red.
is this funny? And I don't even know what that means.
Someone else can explain. That was not meant to be funny. That was a serious comment.
There are
He's
people
referring to the
who
Temple
are
of Valor.
hungry. But
What
there
is
are
the-
people who are hungry, Emberin. And while you're sitting in here, we're sitting in here having a good old time. Ain't nobody feeding them.
Except for the temples, whose job it is to feed them, and what our donations go to when we donate to the church. The temples.
Is to feed
We
them.
can agree to disagree on that. Because the reality is, after the priests take their cut, and
Calliope,
the
but
people that they,
really quickly, just so you know, for like worldwide lore wise, the temple does create food and water. That's kind of like they spend all their spell slots where they
Great.
do healing and things. But being part of the clergy, they do not actually get paid for it. They get
Okay.
the food that they make. They live in the temple, but they don't take a salary, or at least what you've heard from it. There may be some corrupt priests and clerics, but then usually because of the 16, they usually don't have their powers for long.
then she's going to take a different tack.
Okay.
Miss Alice, Lance, have you ever looked into the eyes of somebody who's hungry?
Yes.
And did that make you feel anything?
Hungry.
See, it makes me feel sad, and I don't laugh. So that's fine. Y'all can do what you want to do, and I don't have much judgment in my heart against you. Y'all don't know any better.
Darling,
But what I'm saying,
the only reason I asked if you were going to a temple with the food was because if you were going to Ambitions, I was going to give you money to donate there.
no, I'm going to take this directly to the people.
Alice is going to look at Zadie and go, "Did I say something wrong?"
No, sweetie, you didn't say something wrong. Um, there's a lot to. Oh, I shouldn't have had that alcohol. There's a lot to unpack there,
Darling, are
and
you okay?
I shouldn't have had that. It's okay.
Miss Alice,
It's okay.
you absolutely didn't say anything wrong. What I'm trying to say is that people are people, regardless of what station they hold, high or low. And if there's somebody that's hungry and I can do something about it, or Embern can do something about it, or you can do something about it, then we should. The one thing that I don't agree with is making sport out of it, Lance.
I wasn't making sport out of it. I
Then I apologize.
said I had this large quantity of food in my bag and I wanted to know if we should do something with it or toss it. And
I
it's
believe
why
you laughed. I believe there was some laughter there, and you said hungry. So I apologize if I misread that situation.
I apologize for.
No, it's me.
I was referencing myself when I was on the streets and looking in a mirror at myself in between the times when my mother kicked me out and when I went to go stay with my uncle.
It breaks my heart that you had to experience that, and I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
No,
But I am one of those that I would prefer to laugh at my own pain than to dwell on it.
And hey,
now
look at it
that's
this
going to
way:
take a minute to unpack.
if we're bringing the food directly to the people, that's in a way helping the temples, because then they don't have to do it, and there's less work for them.
That is true.
Erlon, you want to come too? Spread the message of Big Red?
Sure.
No, if you don't want to.
No,
And we
I
got
mean,
this.
it was really touching what you said, Callie. We just got, we just ate a lot of food and we just drank some drinks. Great timing to just spread some lovely cheer to all the less fortunate people.
I feel like I overstepped. I apologize.
What do you, what do you mean you overstepped?
This just got weird.
Anyway,
Because
so
you
I
made
think
it that way, sweetie.
I think what we can take out of this is that Callie and I will go deliver the rations and some food to those in need. And yeah, that's about
Yeah.
it.
Well, you go take your rations.
And
Alice?
do you want to not be drunk anymore, Doctor?
Mm,
And
yeah,
I'll just give you this.
yeah,
I'll
I
give
think
you
that's a
this, and
good
you can
idea.
make your own choice. And he'll just give her a good berry.
all right, you pop it into your mouth, doctor. You just ate. Now
Mm-hmm.
you're eating basically food for pretty much like 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately feel full, even more so than usual, like bloated. And then with all the nutrients of a day's food for 24 hours, completely like pushes most of the alcohol out.
That was a dumb idea. I'm sorry.
Dessert is served. You all are given plates of delicious canepe, which, if any of you know, is a cheese dish for it. I'll like post a picture, and it is in the general RP chat
Mm,
with some syrup all on top of it. With that said, you all continue forward, and yeah, the next day, Alice, you have your interview for it. And oh, can't hear you.
I know. If I'm muted, I'm just talking to myself.
But yeah, we will. Let me ask you then, Lumi, for this. Do you want to do it RP channel, or do you want to also like do it a little bit in next session?
Excuse you, this is the Alice show. Everybody tunes in for the Alice show, Gasan. We have to give them what
Mhm.
they want.
Just want to double check. So there you go. So next time, because I want to give it justice. That's why I want to give it justice and see how it's
You want to see
respond.
her bomb her interview
Up to you.
in
if you
real
wanna bomb it.
time?
So, and whether or not you go through the combat, and then we'll go into what happens. And if you tell
She's-
them that you don't have combat spells, that's perfectly fine.
I was like, she's gonna
But
get her
then just-
ass kicked.
Well, no, because then you do either a summon or an obstacle course.
Obstacle course. Now, see,
Obstacle
I've
course.
got a plan. Or I've been formulating a plan for this combat. Okay, you know it's gonna be a little bit cheeky and not so much me fighting as me avoiding fighting.
Yeah. There you
Just
go.
do like the
Hey,
just do the
I
big
tried
red
it.
call. Like, what do you do?
Do you come running with an axe?
Big
That's
red.
can I? So you can summon something. Let me summon something, and I just go big red. He comes running in.
He comes through the wall like the Kool-Aid guy.
Yes. He's just, and instead of saying, "Oh yeah," he's just big red.
That's where he got the name from. Big Red Kool-Aid guy.
There you go. You gotta make
Oh.
it into a drink. The big red aid. There we
Big
go.
red aid.
So
Oh, yeah.
awesome. All right. Well, it's almost 10 Pacific, so let's wrap up here. What we'll do, Alice, do you raise your finger? But
No, I just said it's not 10. It's 1.
one for you. It's 10 here, 10 for us in the Pacific. One over there. I'm sure you guys need your rest and everything. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do the interview with Alice, and next time we're gonna do the interview with Alice. We'll see if she joins, and then we'll see you guys taking your first quest with Skender's Guild and heading off to do it. So it'll be exciting.
Yeah.
I will ask for those who did join or were offered. I do want you guys to send me, whether privately or publicly, let me know if you do sign up for it, because there's also potential RP that could be had when you go in to sign on or not. So
Oh
I
yeah,
just
I'm
wanna know
signing up.
Lip
Yeah,
got
yeah.
in.
We'll
We'll find out.
Nip.
We're gonna find out once he becomes a villain.
Yeah, a villain we made.
He's his whole name.
I mean,
is
all
the-
good heroes need to make their own villains.
all
Hey,
because you guys were being rude and mean to him.
But not Lance. Not Lance.
Em, can you do me a favor?
Well, are you?
Yeah.
That's
No, I
that's
mean,
a dangerous
no, I'm just
question
saying,
to ask a Fae.
Can you
Alright.
keep Calliope away from that cleric, the hot cleric? She's trying to remain faithful.
what hot cleric? There's so many people that you guys say, like literally every NPC is hot.
The one in
I
the,
specified cleric.
the
I
one in the
stand by
pink
it.
robes.
Not
one
the
that
Lance,
we
orc.
wrote.
the one that Lance fought.
Oh,
So,
gotcha.
I will also post for those. So I'm going to post who already made it, and then we'll see if Alice is not, if Alice is joining it or not.
No.
Just to see, like she can also do it, but you all will be meeting other members who are probably there signing up at the same time. So you will meet a lot of people potentially who are signing up. And go forward from there.
I really want to see Alice go through all of this, and then after the combat, they're like, "All right, do you want to join?" And she's like, "Nah."
Nah.
Yeah, she's team Paragon or team Dawn Caller. Now she's just like, well, I guess since they were obsessed with me so much that they called me back, I guess I'll go to interview.
Oh my god.
I want them to know what they could have had.
Exactly.
Puts his name and honor on the line. Awesome. All right. And then that is absolutely allowed. I'm not pressuring you as a DM to join the Skander's Guild. You can join the Dawn Callers or not at all.
I'm
You
gonna
don't have
be
to,
I'm
but-
gonna be our I'm gonna be our dawn caller contact. You guys just don't know how valuable that's gonna be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
All right. And I do, yeah, we'll get to that in other conversations. So everyone, thank you, for all of you who are here playing with me, as well as everyone at home and on the interwebs. If you're watching this,
And in space.
YouTube.
Some people
And
watch from space.
if you're watching from space or an alien that has caught the signals from Earth, hello. And I hope you enjoyed the
If
show.
you are an alien in space watching, contact us. We'll get you a T-shirt.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
free
need to
merch for
provide-
any alien.
You need to provide undisputable proof, but we will get you a T-shirt.
And while we're still alive, because light transmissions and everything, so this is a non-binding agreement to any of our heirs.
Spoken
And
like a
there's the
lawyer.
lawyer.
Ah,
Yep,
there's the
the
lawyer.
There's-
God.
all right, y'all. Thank you so much. I'll see you all soon, and till next time, take care.